Of
Yes.
course. Mm, Share. Where is that share gone?
Sir, I'll just switch. I'll join from the laptop
Yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's okay. That's okay. I will just staring. Okay, can you see the screen? Shivangi and Adit?
Yeah,
Okay. Let's start. Good afternoon. I know there are only two of you, although there's Mitushi is coming back again. Adit and Shivangi, of course, there are some who attended an earlier version of this webinar, which I did this morning from Dubai. So some of maybe it will be a less lower attendance now, but the one reason why people don't tend to attend live is that because they know that we are going to give them a YouTube recording of this webinar.
yeah, no
So
problem.
that's okay as long as they understand what we are doing. And now to come to the main point, why do we do these webinars regularly across India, in UAE, Kuwait, wherever we teach? It's from our side, it's called due diligence. And to use two Latin phrases, not in English, but in Latin. One is caveat emptor, the other one is caveat venditor. What it means is the buyer should be aware of what he's buying, and the seller, the education provider, should also tell the student what he is likely to get from us. Due diligence. So you as a student should know what we are going to teach you, and I as a teacher, or Mitushi as a teacher, or Minakshi here, we should know what the students are expecting. So then there are no causes for dispute, or not dispute. We never had disputes in the last 35 years. For cause for even the slightest bit of disappointment. And in fact, which reminds me, one of the 73 inquiries who are responding with me on Instagram. One of them, this lady is from Delhi, I think. She asked me, what will happen if she is not satisfied with the course? Now, I thought that was a very, very optimistic kind of, not pessimistic, optimistic kind of a question. Even before you have come to the river, you are trying to cross the bridge and you're not sure whether the bridge is strong enough to carry you. It's a little too premature. But the important thing is, why should we have that negative attitude? I mean, she was wanting to know what will happen if she is not satisfied. Will we give the money back? So my response to her was that this has never been. This is the first time anybody is asking me this question in the last 35, 40 years that we have been into education, and certainly for the first time in Pilates. But that's a good question. I'm glad she asked. I like her honesty because she may be having she must be having some experiences with some other education providers where she was not comfortable. And whatever it is, I'm an old goat sitting in Dubai right now, but from Mumbai. Of course, Mitushi is very much from Gurugram, and Minakshi, who will do first aid CPR, is stays in Rohtak. But still, it's a good, valid question. So I said, but I was a little amused. At the same time, I respect that lady's sentiments. So this is the reason why we have these webinars for all our courses, where personal trainer course, or bodybuilding coaching, or strength and conditioning, integrated yoga, Pilates, of course. That's why we are here. And to quick summary of what we did, as I mentioned a little earlier, but it's worth recording it for posterity, so to say, because I'm very proud of this. We brought Pilates to India way back in 2009, and the very first batch in India was in 2010. Yes, in 2010. In 2009, Frankie Puglisi came from America to start the courses. We were partnering Pilates Institute of America, that time the top three in America in those days, 2008, 2007. Until 2014, we taught Pilates Institute of America programs. In fact, Mitushi ma'am, who is going to teach you guys mat and ball, is an alumni of the GAYO Fitness Academy Pilates Institute of America. And in 2014, of course, the academy gave us the institute gave us the permission to use their syllabus, which since 2014 we have upgraded, and now we are internationally accredited across and accepted across 52 of 55 countries, including Dubai, right now where I'm sitting, UAE, Kuwait, Singapore, the whole European Union, and so on. Uh, The first course was, of course, in Hauskas village in 2010. And since then, this is wrong, not 2019. My printer, my typing error, it is 2009. And since then, of course, we have been teaching in so many other countries. So we are quite familiar with Pilates. And this one thing you guys should keep in mind, there is no official or formal distinction between neutral Pilates equipment, Pilates education, which is sold by Pilates equipment manufacturers, and Pilates education, which is done by us. We are not into equipment. We are not associated with any Pilates equipment brand. Okay. In America, it still continues to be called, we are what we call, let us say, equipment neutral. So if you do our course of the reformer, you should be able to teach reformer Pilates on any product. It could be an American Pilates machine, it could be Canadian, it could be European, it could be Chinese. Now there are so many manufacturers in India, in Hyderabad, in Nagpur, Bangalore, you name it. I'm sure they're there in Jalandhar also. So we are what we call Pilates equipment neutral. We are not associated with any equipment manufacturer. Nothing wrong in that. Some of them are brilliant education programs. I do not wish to go there at all. All that I will say is that in our case, because we are strictly into education and training, we have international accreditations from the European standards, European Register of Exercise Professionals level 4. Then, of course, like right now in Dubai, Register of Exercise Professionals UAE, REPS UAE. We are accepted in CanFit Pro in Canada, in Australia, in England, in UK. There is a thing called CIMSPA, CIMSPA. So our courses are all aligned with that. So the education that Mitushi ma'am is going to give you on the mat and the ball, and later Saima will teach you on the reformer, if you wish to proceed to the reformer, is something which is internationally accepted. If you have to do the same course in Dubai, you will be taught the same thing, the same books, same knowledge delivery, the same global master trainers. And you get internationally accepted certification, which to me is very, very important. Okay. Now, come back to Gurugram. We'll be doing our programs in Beyond Fitness. It's a lovely, cute Pilates studio and boutique gym in Sector 40. It's owned by Anita Talluri, who did our course way back in 2009. And she also teaches reformer in her studio. But it is Mitushi ma'am, Mitushi who's here, who will be teaching mat and ball, outstanding communication skills, passionate teacher. In fact, I saw her teaching in SGTU University not very long ago, full of passion. And the students will really benefit from Mitushi's teaching. And Meenakshi, I think she's in the middle of her OPD in the National Boxing Academy in Rohtak at the moment. So I think she's just left
I'm
us.
driving right now, sir.
Keep
Sorry.
driving, keep driving. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't go safely. Meenakshi is going to teach you not Pilates, but as a part of your Pilates on mat course fee, course syllabus, she will teach you the internationally accepted first aid, CPR, and AED course. It is mandatory. In India, most academies don't make it mandatory. I keep it mandatory by giving it to you as complimentary. And first aid course makes you a better yoga teacher, a more confident personal trainer, Pilates teacher, and so on. More than the fitness profession or the yoga profession, first aid is something which gives you confidence in your own home. If somebody, God forbid, somebody gets an injury or a heart attack, you know what to do. And Meenakshi is not only one of India's senior most sports physios, that too in a sport like boxing, where unless you are injured, you cannot be a boxer. And she has traveled to Dubai twice or thrice to be trained and certified as a first aid CPR teacher. She also does our brilliant prehab, what we call prehab and rehab sports injury courses. Of course, that is not part of the Pilates course, first aid courses. So she's going to teach the first aid. So this is our program for Gurugram Pilates on mat. Technically, it will start today. But as usual, Indian Standard Time, we will push it by a few days, because by the time people make up their mind, of course, some people have already enrolled. So those who enrolled this morning, they have already started getting the online resources. But many of you would want to enroll this week, so that's not a problem. The main thing is what we call in India offline. Here it is called live, face to face, physical, whatever it is. May 22, 23, and 24, Mitushi ma'am is going to teach you Pilates on mat work. It's called mat work. A lot of people say, I want to do reformer, not mat. It's like somebody telling me, I want to do the CPR course, not the first aid. Unless you do mat work first, you cannot do your reformer. Unless you do your 12th, you cannot be a graduate. And if you are not a graduate, you cannot be a postgraduate. So we'll come to that a little later. May 10 is first aid CPR. That is again the same venue. The venue is the same, Beyond Fitness, Sector 40, where Meenakshi will, on May 10, she will teach first aid and CPR. In fact, I think I'll be there. I think we have forgotten the dates. Meenakshi, we'll have to recheck the dates for you. Pilates and ball, May 15, May 25 is the off. That's only 1 day offline course actually. And Pilates and Reformer comes. That is a longish thing with a fair amount of 3 or 4 online sessions. But the practical training will be on 25, 26, 27, and 28. Okay. These dates are already posted on our website. Those who are interested, of course, there's many of them. I'm just following my Instagram. A lot of them say, sorry, we can't attend the webinar, but we are enrolling. Well, hope so. So I'll post the dates to you, Shivangi and Adit. I will let you know the dates, or you be in touch with me via Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever. I'll keep these dates informed. Now, how do we teach and why? Let's come to that a little later. Let's start with the Pilates on mat. We give you fairly well designed, well, I won't say well designed. I mean, they are not coffee table books. Good color, 4 color textbooks, which it's a humble offering from us, but a well book which covers level 1, 2, 3. A lot of people say, oh, is it level 1? Is it level 2, level 3? That's all. We give you the full course, foundation, intermediate, and advanced. We don't charge you separately like some people do. Level 1 is 30,000, level 2 is 45,000, level 3 is 60,000. All this we give you for 33,750 or whatever it is. What makes us better educators probably is because we give you access to videos. You know, you will get 150 videos, and this is Saima who will come and to teach you. Sorry, Mitushi will teach, but Saima's video. Okay, there are 150 such videos shot by Saima. But for the purpose of video, Saima is the teacher. Actually, who will teach you is, of course, Mitushi ma'am, who's right here. So you get textbook, you get access to videos around 150. And one more thing, I think these videos were shot about a couple of years ago. But right now, as I speak to you in Mumbai, Saima is now reshooting the entire library where we had 145, 147 videos. Now the library has been expanded to 185. So the students, even if you did the course this year, doing the course now, maybe 6 months down the line, you will get access to the latest updated library of videos. And no academy in the world gives you so many videos. There's no doubt about it. You can check it out on internet or whatever it is, and you'll be surprised. So when we say you have to do a lot of home studies, European Register of Exercise Professionals they know that what we mean by home study. You have the videos in front of you to refresh your memory. You don't have to scratch your head and say, oh my God, last Sunday, what did Mitushi ma'am teach? Here you have videos which you can play on your phone or your laptop and practice. Okay. Uh, this is a very common question asked. In fact, out of the 73, as I mentioned, inquiries on Instagram, that's the only statistic that I can share with. I was talking to Meenakshi earlier this morning. At least 50 have asked me this question. मुझे रिफॉर्मर करना है क्या मुझे जरूरी है क्या मैट मैट करना है पहले yes the answer is yes it has got nothing to do with my money making thing as it is we are charging you 25% of what one or two other academies charge you for mat They have split that into one level, one, two, three, four, and then they charge you a bomb. We don't do that. That's one. Number two, why should you do, most important, the Mitushi ma'am will also discuss this, talk to you a little later. Why should you do mat work first? Remember one basic principle. Pilates teachers earn 30 to 40% more than regular personal trainers. Why? The main reason, the only reason is communication skills. It is as if Shivangi is teaching yoga to a blind man. Imagine I was blind and then she said, okay, you are going to do this particular, your level of communication needs to be that much higher. The position of your fingers is very important. Your posture is very important. Now, this is called the physical touch or the physical contact. Okay. A lot of people say, why mat work first? And so this is the reason that when you do your Pilates on mat, when Joseph Pilates developed what he called body contrology, he was doing it on the mat, the floor. So there, the repertoire, the library of exercise is much more than what you can do on the ball or the reformer. So this is one thing. Secondly, and more important, I think Mitushi ma'am is the right person to explain. There are certain principles of Pilates, scoop, imprint, things like that. She will explain to a little later. They can only be taught personally. They cannot be taught online. Just as MBBS doctors cannot do surgery online, similarly, you cannot do things online. We have at least 7 students from Nepal, Bangladesh, even from God knows, I think Sri Lanka. They said, oh no, we don't mind paying the fee, but we'll do mat online. However, mouth-watering it was in terms of money. I said, no, we don't get into that kind of thing because that person is going to injure herself or himself, and more importantly, injure the client. You need to be in the class where Mitushi ma'am will lightly touch your shoulder or back or whatever to check whether you're doing it correctly. The physical contact is very, very important. It is mat work, which that is basically offline, online. That, but here I'm talking to why mat work was because the principles of Pilates exercise are mastered first on the mat, where the surface is stable. It is not moving, right? It helps you improve posture awareness. It improves helps you develop your core. That's your abdominal. Basically, your core is your chest, back, abdomen, and your glutes. Your whole body, except the head, the arms, the limbs, is a core. It develops your posture alignment and so on. So, mat work is absolutely essential before you go on to the reformer or the ball. Also, let it be known right from day one. When you train a client on reformer, it cannot be only on the reformer. There are so many principles of exercise science which will be violated if you do only reformer. The client has to be given a permutation combination of mat, ball, reformer. And maybe later on, as you develop the mastery, Pilates on Cadillac, trapeze star, ladder barrel, Wunda chair, and so on and so forth. It cannot be only the reformer. The reason is these are the first principle of the first two principles of exercise are principle of individual differences. I may not want to go on the reformer. Why are you forcing me to go on the reformer? Or I may have some kind of a vertigo problem or a imbalance problem. Then I should not be going on reformer at all. You should be sticking to only. You should make me as a client do only mat work, not even the ball. So principle of individual differences is the first principle. The second is it's called overloading. In exercise, and yoga is not exercise, as Shivangi will herself say, it's a therapy. She herself described, described herself as a yoga therapist, which is very good, brilliant. In exercise sciences, the second principle of exercise is to overload. You need to continually, regularly, in small increments, increase the resistance with or intensity of your exercise. So these two, forget the principles of Pilates. These two principles themselves will be violated if you do not practice mat work, master mat work, and then make your client get onto the mat along with the reformer or the ball or whatever. Then, of course, why offline? Why not online? Oh, so many academies are doing it online. Well, good luck to them. Good luck to the students. I know for a fact students from Hyderabad who did online courses in Hyderabad are now pachhtaving, as we would say in Bombay or Hindi. They are regretting having done that course. They didn't learn anything because you have to come and sit in the class. If Mitushi ma'am tells you that you have to contract a very small muscle called multifidus, which you and I, if he tells me to contract that muscle, I may not be able to feel it. I may not even get the sensation. But if he gently touches that part of the back, adjoining the spine, she may be able to feel the sensation. So physical contact is essential in Pilates learning and Pilates teaching. Okay. It helps you network among the students. It helps you improve the accuracy of your movement. It's only a teacher, external teacher, who can see your body and say, okay, you are moving correctly. When I see myself in the mirror, I think I'm doing fantastic. But when I see from the side, or when Mitushi looks at me from the side, she'll say, Dilip, you seem to have a hunched back. Straighten up. So these things can be taught only offline. So that, of course, I'll give her a bit of time a little later, but let me finish my spiel first. What is the syllabus? We have two parts in the Pilates on mat. One is, of course, module one, which is theory online. It saves you time. It saves you. Why online is important? I mean, what are the benefits? Online, we do the recordings of the session just the way we are doing this recording. We share with you the YouTube links. You can, as many times as you want, revise by watching the YouTube links. It keeps, you refresh your memory all the while. That is one. Second, in today's times, traveling 7 days to Sector 40 Gurugram is, you are spending your money, spending your energy, right? And time. So when you can do these things online, why not? So basically, what do we teach? Uh, Profile history of philosophy of Joseph Pilates, exercise anatomy. Now, when it's an American word, anatomy, what we talk in correct is kinesiology. Which muscles help you do the Pilates exercises? We also have online pre-recorded sessions for general kinesiology and biomechanics. This is a topic which we is normally done with the personal trainers, but I share these resources with yoga, in our yoga course students and also the Pilates students. Theory and practice of fitness is a very wide thing because ultimately Pilates teacher always a separate profession by itself. A personal trainer is separate, Pilates teacher is separate, but we all belong to the world of fitness. And there are 16 types of fitness. 16, 1 6. And there are 8 methods, general technologies of training. The first popular training all over the world for the last 4,000, 5,000 years has been training with weights. Yes, it's been there. It's there in Indian history for the last 3,500 years, like in Greek history, in China, and so on. There, they did not have dumbbells and barbells. They probably lifted rocks or stones or pieces of wood, but they knew what the weight training was. But interestingly, if weight training is the most popular form of exercise, the second most popular is Pilates. And not only Pilates in terms of popularity around the world, but the second most common form of exercise for achieving fitness goals. One is weight training, the second is Pilates. It's very interesting. So, theory and practice of fitness is going to introduce you to the 16 types of fitness and 8 methods of training because you should be able to be a top class, world class Pilates owner or Pilates teacher in the right context. Fitness for adult senior citizens comes in fitness. Fitness assessment and exercise periodization, most academies do not teach. We will teach you. For example, let's say Mitushi ma'am is my trainer, I'm a client. I tell her, ma'am, I know my age is 72, my flexibility is less, I got fat is a little too much. Then she will assess my fitness condition and prescribe the exercises within the Pilates. You understand? As a Pilates teacher. And diet and nutrition supplements is an optional thing. It is no more part of the Pilates course. 10 years ago, it was there, but those who are interested can pay a discounted fee and do the diet and nutrition. Uh, that is not very, but what is definitely there is psychosocial aspects of teaching Pilates. Now, when I talk in terms of psychosocial terms of aspects of Pilates, meaning it is as if Joseph Pilates developed Pilates for India. An average Indian man or woman's personality is not towards bodybuilding or strength. We want to be lean and mean. We want to have less fat. We want to be flexible. That comes through Pilates. Now, Pilates is not the only form of exercise. You can do calisthenics, but calisthenics is high impact on the joints, while Pilates does not put high impact on the joints. Pilates is not yoga. It is not Tai Chi. It is not Greek gymnastics. Tai Chi, yoga, Greek gymnastics are exercise formats which Joseph Pilates used for developing his idea of exercise, which he, as I mentioned earlier, he called it as body controlology. In the practical training, and this is what Mitushi ma'am will explain to you because she is the expert on this principles of breath, concentration, center, and flowing. I am not sure what all that means. She will explain to you. They will be, she will, they may not be able to teach you all the 150 variations of exercises because you got the videos anyway. But you'll see that you master the foundational exercises. Okay. That's one. Secondly, she will also do her best to ensure that you practice your teaching and communication and cueing skills. Communication skills, how to teach Pilates and how to cue. And of course, as I mentioned, Dr. Meenakshi will be there to teach you first aid and CPR. This first aid CPR also, by the way, is accepted in 55 countries. Whatever GAYO Fitness Academy does is not, I mean, nothing wrong in being Desi, made in India. I'm very proud of that. But we are also accepted in God knows how many countries. The scoop, imprint, these are some nuances of Pilates which can be taught only offline in a class supervision. And that is what Mitushi ma'am will teach you do. Without the scope and the imprint, for example, you cannot be a Pilates teacher. Because this is a common thing across India. मैं कर लूंगी through YouTube. कर लूंगी what? What can you do? You can't learn Pilates scoop on your own while watching some person talk in American English on YouTube. You have to sit in the class where probably Mitushi will put her hand under the arch of her back to see whether you are actually imprinting or something like that. So it is very essential that you guys do uh, uh, the offline part of it. Now, is 3 days enough? Oh my God. Here you are getting 10, 12 online sessions live, plus pre-recorded sessions online, plus 3 days of training, all something which Mitushi ma'am herself did in the old days, the American style, where the whole thing got over in 2 days' time. That's it. So she's smiling there. Because you guys are going to get much more time and focus and learning resources than what that poor thing got in 2010, because that is what the done thing was. Even today in America, they don't feed, support the student the way like the way we do. The fee is 33,750, but this includes a lot of things. First and foremost, do not look at that fee as an expenditure. Kharcha, it is an investment. You are going to recover money out of it. Please don't forget that. It's an investment. And in that investment, what are you going to get? I want you to attend this exam on because this fee is actually around 3,800 rupees, which I am paying. From this 33,750, 3,800 or something goes to Skills India, Government of India. I want you guys to get this exam and certificate. The reason is, if you're a college student, you can get course credits under the new National Education Plan, policy or whatever it is called, NEP. Apart from that, if you are a Pilates teacher or you're a yoga teacher or something else, and I think Adit was saying he wants to put up a business, a Pilates business. Skills India certification can help you facilitate business loans if you are looking for a business loan. Now, I use the word facilitate in inverted commas. You will not get a, rebate on the interest that the banks charge. You understand? Or the collateral will not become less, but it is easier because now your name will be featured in the Government of India's National Skills Register. I have seen students from Kerala or even Indian students here in Dubai who have utilized the Skills India certification for the purpose of getting business loans for buying equipment or even furthering their education. So Skills India has got its advantage. I am giving it as a complementing to the Pilates and Math. Highfield International is the certification course which Meenakshi will teach you for first aid, CPR, and AED. Highfield International is a British company which does these kind of vocational courses. The certificate that you will get in Gurugram is accepted in 85 countries. Forget the acceptance of the first aid. It will help you become a safer, more positive member of your family. Okay. And if you are thinking of going abroad to work outside India, then at an additional fee, which today is 4,750, it was 5,500, which because I'm a very good businessman, I reduced it from 5,500 to 4,750. You can then get the EREPS Level 4 certificate, European Register of Exercise Professionals, if you wish to work abroad. Once you get the certificate, are you supposed to renew the education, the Pilates certificate? In India, it is not necessary that you renew it. In India, even the continuing CEUs are not mandatory. But I would say it is recommended because there's so much that you can learn in Pilates. After you do the Pilates on mat and you get the certificate, you go to Pilates on ball or a Cadillac or Wunda chair or magic circle. These are all called continuing education. आपको ये करना जरूरी compulsory नहीं है, but it will add more to your knowledge. If you have more knowledge, you will get that many more customers. Simple, and therefore your income increases, right? In India, we recommend GAYO Fitness Academy suggests 30 CUs. That is 30 hours of extra training every 3 years. Doesn't have to be only in Pilates. It could be anything which is connected uh, with fitness. And why will I recommend? Because it is required for market survival. If there are two reformer studios in Delhi, I will go to that studio which also teaches me. Well, at my age, I will not do Cadillac, but I'll certainly like to do the spine corrector, for example, or the ladder barrel, right? Or the magic circle, or the pedo pull. So it is market survival. And if you are going to work abroad, then as per EREPS or REPS UE, SIMSPA, CanFit Pro, Canadian Fitness Professionals Organization in Canada, etc., etc., there they have their own CU rules. So it helps you get, and to renew your certificate, you need these CUs. Pilates on ball, there are no videos because it is very, very difficult to shoot natural videos on the ball. Yes, thanks to AI, we could do it, but I believe in Saima and Mitushi. I'm not going to just, show that they did something else, just kneeling on the floor, and then I show that they're kneeling on the ball. That's cheating. So we don't have a library of videos for the ball, but we have a well-produced book, and these are some of the pictures from that photographs in the book with proper sequence of photographs, the queuing, the name, everything. It's a well-produced book. The Pilates breathing scoop, of course, that is part of the mat syllabus. But basically, when you come to why Pilates on ball, what are the warm-up exercises for doing Pilates on the stability ball? And by the way, the size of the ball depends on your height. You know, if I do on a 65 centimeter ball, it doesn't mean that you also do 65. Probably you might need 75 or 55. So depends on your height. The different exercises that can be done, the stretches, and then what is called the cheat sheet. How do you plan the exercises for Pilates on the ball? But now here comes, why do I need to do ball? This is the second frequently asked question. I want to do CPR, first aid nahi karna hai. That is not possible. फर्स्ट एड यू हैव टू गिव द विक्टिम फर्स्ट एड फर्स्ट. और अगर फर्स्ट एड का सक्सेसफुल नहीं, देन द फेलो गेट्स अ हार्ट अटैक, देन यू गिव हिम सीपीआर, right? Similarly here, you cannot do well, you can do reformer after doing the mat. There's no harm. In Dubai, where we are right now, where I'm right now, a lot of people do reformer without doing ball, but they find it difficult. And they find it difficult because, of course, this is not an exercise that is done on standing like this. Just to give you an idea, this image is there just to give you an idea that the ball is an unstable surface. It keeps moving. The reformer is an unstable surface. The reformer table keeps sliding. It is like doing an exercise or yoga. Shivangi doing yoga on a floor, and then yoga, she's doing yoga in the train from, coming to Delhi. The train surface, the floor of the train is moving. Can you do the same yoga pose that you are doing stable? No, it requires practice. So that ball, Pilates on ball helps you transition from mat to the reformer. There's no doubt about it. So if I were to be in your case, I would rather do mat now than 2-3 महीने के बाद ball or 3-4 महीने के बाद reformer. But in today's days of instant cafe, coffee, instant karma, instant Pilates, things go haywire. But if go the correct traditional way, you are all youngsters. You have 75 years or 70 years ahead of you. There's enough time. Pilates will not go anywhere. It's already 100 years old. It will continue for another 200 years. Pilates developed this in the 1920s, and today we are in the 2020s, right? So there's enough time for you to do it. Why the ball before reforming? Because it helps you deep functional. It's called functional. It gives you abdominal strength and stability. Improves your reflex actions. It's called proprioceptal actions. Trains movement precision. Develops your pelvic stability. That, of course, ये तो अभी online हो गया है ना. When I say pelvic stability, what does it mean? Nothing. But when Mitushi ma'am makes you do some exercise for pelvic stability, standing or sitting on the ball, then you say, इसमें कुछ है. So that is the reason why you should think of doing offline and also ball. Don't skip the ball. And it's a 1 day course. Even in Dubai, it's a 1 day course, but it is very essential. मैं कर लूंगा घर में. I know I have a ball. No, that doesn't work. You have to be supervised. Because at the moment you are not an expert in Pilates, let the global master trainers who have got 15 years of experience, 10 years or 12 years of experience to come and teach you. Okay. Then probably you can teach us. We have no problems. And because you develop that, prepare for instability, controlling your body on unstable surface, you increase your confidence. Imagine doing this. Imagine you are in the train walking, even walking from your seat to the washroom is difficult in a train. The reformer table is like it moves, you know, because somebody is doing reformer. I will also do reformer, but they don't understand, visualize what that reformer thing is. 10,000 is the fee. It was earlier 17,500. Like a good businessman, I've reduced it. Now I hope I don't become a better businessman and give it free, because then it's a little difficult. So this 1 day ball is recognized. Even this is all of our courses are internationally accepted. This is the ball is accepted for 16 CPDs, 16 hours of additional training. EREP says 10. Each organization has got its own way of doing it. If you are doing 30 after doing mat के बाद आपको 30 घंटे का ट्रेनिंग करना है additional. So that out of the 30 घंटा, this will give you say 6 plus 8, 14 hours. I mean 16 hours of training you will get additional to CUs. Again, as I mentioned, it's great for upskilling. After a mat, upskill yourself. Increase your up your skills by doing the ball. And renewal CUs, vagara, vagara. That's very essential. And now we come to the last part of the thing, the reformer. Here at the moment, we are giving you 65 or 70 videos. These were shot by Kiran, who is originally from Delhi. She is a double MA in yoga from Rishikesh, worked in Mumbai for 3 years, did our Pilates reformer course. She also teaches for me reformer and yoga in UAE. She's at the moment in Abu Dhabi. So these are only 67 videos at the moment. Saima is shooting the reformer videos again. We'll have at least 100. And here again, you get a good, well documented, descriptive Pilates textbook. Okay. Uh, 40,000 is the cost of because the reform is always a little bit more expensive. But as I mentioned to you, don't jump. Don't say, my God, mat plus ball plus this comes to God knows what, 80,000 rupees. I'm not asking you to spend 80,000 in one day, right? Take your time, 3, 4 months. I have no problems. That's one part. Or if you are not going to do reformer, then why think of the reformer? Are you going to buy a reformer and put it up in your house or in your studio? Are you going to start teaching reformer in the next 2 months? Then you do the reformer course. Get the point? Don't do something because it's available. It should be need based. And I personally feel like Mitushi ma'am will also tell you. For many, many years, India did not have reformers. And yet they did mat and ball in 2010, 2011. And that is why their mastery on mat and ball is much, much, much more than what anybody can do today. There's no doubt because they practiced and practiced and practiced. It's not, nobody's, our culture is like that. I do my Dasvi, then I do my Baravi, then I'll do my graduation, then I will do my post graduation. Then what will I do? Get a job. And uske baad get married. Everything, all in one. No, don't. Fitness is not like that. Career cannot be developed like that. You need to start, you do one course, start earning money out of it, then invest a part of that money into the next course. Skill, first comes skilling, then comes upskill, then you reskill, and after a certain age, like my age, when you're really old, then you do cross skill. You shift to education or management or whatever it is. That's how the entire thing continues. Okay. Syllabus, of course, it's nothing much. I mean, I'll give you the links to the website. Better that you go and see there. But basically, like same level 1, level 2, level 3, what other people charge, we charge the same fee. You have foundation, you have beginner, you have intermediate, you have advanced. And most important, Saima will spend a lot of time on setup and safety. Because if you see here in this picture, uh, I know this picture actually shows you Burj Khalifa here in Dubai because it's meant for the program seminar here. Normally, the others will see Qutub Minar. And not that you can see Qutub Minar from Sector 40 Gurugram, but it gave you an idea of, okay, we are doing something in NCR. So this is showing something else. So anyway, it doesn't matter difference. But look at the tables here. The sliding movement. Imagine you standing on that and doing exercise, right? So safety is very important. There are different types of springs for different intensities. How do you maintain that machine? Because anything that moves, anything that is a machine has to be maintained, right? I've seen members in my own family getting injured, lower back injuries because of bad tutoring in the reformer class, because of only the reformer. Yes. So it's not just the reformer. It's called the principle of overload in fitness. You have to continually shock the body. You can't be doing the same exercise every day for the rest of your life. Okay. Uh, Benefits your clients. Why should you do? How does Pilates help? Stronger core, better stability. Every human being wants it. At my age of 72 or a 7 or 8 year old, my grandson is 12. He's doing, I will like him to start Pilates now. He goes to the gym. I will like him to do Pilates. Improved flexibility and mobility, better posture, especially in today's times where we're all the while, you know, crouching on top of our mobile phones. Increased strength, muscle strength, especially in the core and limbs, balance and coordination, lower risk injury, keener body awareness. Oh God, there are so many benefits. But what Joseph Pilates said, and I like this particular statement of his, in 10 sessions, in 10 sessions, you will feel the difference. In 20, you will see the difference. You will see the difference. And in 30 sessions, you will have a new body. Amazing, no? So imagine Shivangi and Aditya and all the others giving a brand new body to their clients in 30 days. That is after you do the course and start teaching the clients, right? So this is something very interesting, and I want you guys to do that and keep it in mind. Uh, Benefit for you, fitness professionals. Now, this is very interesting because Shivangi is a yoga teacher getting into fitness. Brilliant. Extra, it expands your repertoire. It gives you more professional training skills. It develops new income, right? Higher client satisfaction. Maybe Shivangi can do 1 day of yoga this week and 2 sessions of Pilates. Next week it could be 2 sessions of yoga, one Pilates. There's so much that you can do there, right? Increase branding and professional skills get variety in training. If you are going to teach only yoga or a personal trainer is going to teach only personal training to his client, you are going to lose the client. Getting a client today is very, very tough across the world. But retaining the client is even more tough. But if you have good new skills, it becomes a little easier, right? And of course, we've already discussed the value of and usefulness of CUs and CPDs and so on. Benefits integration, there's no doubt about it. See, the most beautiful thing of why is Pilates so popular? This is the last slide. Why is it so popular? The reason is it is low cost, including our fees. There are guys who are charging 1.5 lakh for a mat course. I'm not going there, but we are very reasonably priced. We give you top class education. It is low priced. You need only 10 by 10 area to start a Pilates studio. You don't have to invest money like in a big gym, right? And most important, it is a standalone kind of an exercise. You can do only Pilates, or you can combine Pilates with yoga or rehab in a physiotherapy clinic, or it could be part of bodybuilders can do Pilates. Pilates is a very major part of strength and conditioning for sportsmen, for example. It could be done by prenatal post. I mean, there's so many ways of integrating it. So athletic training, that's what I meant, strength and conditioning, mind body control. Because here, if I had to keep my fingers in a particular position, my mind, I have to focus on what I'm doing. It's not like dumbbell barbell curl in a gym. I see somebody walking into the gym, I can keep watching there and keep swinging my arms, right? That is not possible in Pilates. You have to focus. So here, for example, I've given some examples of integration: Pilates with weight training, Pilates with TRX, Pilates with kettlebells, Pilates and foam rolling, Pilates and yoga. The sky's the limit. And I think, yes, as I mentioned, to summarize before I hand over the mic to Mitushi ma'am, we are lowest in fee in its category, minimum duration, maximum knowledge. Every certificate is accepted not in India and UAE, but in so many 55 to 60 countries. Practical training, no doubt, thanks to the support of videos, 150 videos at this point of time. Actually, it's 147, not 153. I should reduce that by 3. The course is supported with YouTube links to the various lectures online, live, and also pre-recorded. And although I have not mentioned it here, you will actually get textbook not only for the Pilates course, but also for exercise physiology and other subjects which are indirectly connected to Pilates. Because I really want you to be top class Pilates teachers. It is easy, it's not difficult, flexible, because as I mentioned, don't do the whole thing in one shot. Have breakfast in the morning, have lunch at lunchtime, and have dinner at dinner time. Don't gobble up everything at the same time and then say, oh my God, itna kharcha. No, go step by step. It's very practical. And this is something I will do personally. You can be in touch with me like all students across India, across the world. Tunisia, you name it. I'm really proud of this. Pre-post certification guidance and mentoring. Here is this old man sitting just to do that. Okay. I really love doing it because once you're a member of my family, you are there for life until you do katti with me and you leave me and go. That's okay. But until then, I am there to give guidance and things like that. Okay. Indira is actually an Indian name because her father adored Indira Gandhi. She's from Russia. Of course, now in Kazakhstan. She's a very senior Pilates teacher here in Dubai now. And this is not Indira. This one is Francie Patel from Mumbai. They are absolutely, and Ankita is from Mumbai, of course. The point is, somebody said you should put some testimonials. I said, okay, I'll put some testimonials. Although I don't see any need. But since these three gave it on their own without my having to ask them, I said, okay, I'll put them. But the point is, I think we do a good job. We do a sincere job. We'll help you become good Pilates teachers. And ultimately, before I actually hand over the mic to Mitushi ma'am, I'll only say this. There are so many other Pilates work courses available. एक दिन का कोर्स है, 10 दिन का है, 2 लाख का है. You know, go through all because these are lifelong career decisions. Don't take what I have said or what Mitushi ma'am will say now in the next 10 minutes. Take us for granted. Get the right information. Come back to me and say, okay, Dilip, this is what the other people say. What is your thought? Take your time, and because this is a lifelong career, this is not for a job. You know, 2 महीने के लिए job. This is like a career. Take your time, okay, and then come back to us. Uh, okay, Mitushi ma'am, my dear Mitushi ma'am, will you please say something? There are only two of them
Yes.
here, three of them, but it's worth it because others will also.
No, absolutely, sir. Whether there is one or there are five. Absolutely. Am I audible? I couldn't hear you. Sir, are you muted? I can't hear you now.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. All right. Right. So, as Sir said, there are 16 types of fitness, and Pilates is one important one. Now, when I have been a teacher for Pilates and I've been teaching only on mat. Coming to the straight away to the same point that should you do reformer and mat together now only? I would also say please spend some time staying with mat Pilates, learn, practice because you will have so many questions as you will become a teacher, start teaching, and you will see the issues people will have or you will have. So when you have a strong hold on mat and then the ball, then go for reformer because reformer is there for progression and regression both. But straight away going there, then you're lost. You're not understanding the core principles of Pilates, which you will do on the mat because don't never think that mat is easy and second level is reformer. In fact, doing on the mat is tougher because you do not have any assistance to understand the core principles of Pilates. Pilates, why should it be done offline and not online? Because Pilates is all about internal cueing. I am sitting here. If you do something wrong, if I just touch you gently, you will understand it much quickly rather than me telling you 10 different ways of getting to that muscle. So that is why, and in fact, even for a regular class, not just for teacher training, regular class, you will also see the difference in your online class versus a physical in-person class because it becomes easier. You get not a 2D image. So you see the person and then you can give cues. In a Pilates class, there have been questions which I've got that why isn't there music in my class? In Pilates, this is what I have learned. And I still, 14 years down the line, I still do not have music in my Pilates class. Why? Because if you need music, that means you're not listening to me. So a teacher is constantly talking, giving cues to the students because the mind wanders and you would be thinking about what is your child doing at home, what your parents are doing, or you're planning a party later. But when a Pilates teacher is present, the mind, she does not let the mind wander. And that is why a Pilates teacher is required and why there shouldn't be music, because you will also be asked, why can't we have some music, some background music? But let your cueing be music to ears, to the students there. So that is why you need in-person Pilates classes. Then progression, regressions are done with the reformer. So build it up with mat and then move on to ball and then the reformer. Like Sir said, individual differences and then overloading. These are few principles which we follow in fitness when it comes to even personal training, two different people will behave differently because they will have different types of bodies, and you will have to customize the exercises. And when you learn to do that on the mat, that is when you will actually feel how strong you will become in your communication. And then that's how you will, come up with the solution or the variation when you've practiced it the most difficult way, which is on the mat. And then, so I'm not saying that reformer is not difficult. It is difficult, it is overloading. But when you learn it on the mat, then you know what you are expecting on the reformer. And then coming to, yeah, this is from my experience, I'll tell you. Yes, the fees initially may feel that it's too big or it's too much, while internationally or when you compare with other courses, it is quite reasonable. But I am telling you from my experience, when I learned Pilates 15 years back, I recovered my fees within 1 month with just one batch a week. Because this I knew Pilates teacher could command more than the normal personal trainers, and the classes ran full even then with just one batch in a week, 2 times in a week. So fees you can recover very quickly because Pilates, you also know, is how much in demand. So maybe you're a person at the right place at the right time, which I was maybe 15 years back, and I never had to look back. Now, why I till date, I am still a Pilates teacher on mat, though Dilip sir keeps telling me to pursue reformer, but I have only one thing. I do not want to open my own studio and get into just managing that studio. If I have a reformer, I will have to open a studio of my own. That is the only reason why I didn't learn reformer. Otherwise, nothing against it. But because I knew I will not be able to use it, so there was no need. And till date, students love my Pilates classes. They've been coming for 15 years, and we have variations in that. So, just to tell you, I'm a master fitness trainer. I'm a Pilates teacher. I'm a yoga teacher. So, I have not restricted myself because I feel when I get a 360 view of all the exercises, that is when I know how to sell it to the client, because I know the downsides and the upsides of every program, and I take best of all and combine. That is in terms of upskilling, what sir was telling you. So keep studying, keep learning, and that's how you upskill. And so Pilates is more about internal cueing, the communication skills that you will develop, because we will keep giving you few statements, or you can say few lines which you mug up, and there sometimes they just flow out of my mouth without my mind even being there, that what am I even saying, because these are the cues we keep giving in the class so that the student who is there in the class is not thinking about something else. So Pilates is about external cueing as well as internal, because you have to make the client feel the muscle. And when someone says, okay, Mitushi, where is this working? So I in fact ask them, you please do the exercise and tell me where is it, where are you feeling it. So that is all. We do it in the physical class, or you can say offline classes, which you can't understand in online sessions or from the YouTube videos, because exercises worldwide are the same. In fact, in all yoga, Pilates, fitness training, lots of exercises are common. But how do you do them? Pilates is felt, Pilates is not seen. And this is the thing which is so good about Pilates, that you can't, if I am doing something, you can't know what am I doing. Pilates, only when you become a Pilates teacher, you understand Pilates, you feel Pilates. So that's from me. So I hope, sir, I have covered everything. Sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Unmute. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Mitushi, I heard you, and I heard you well. I think you've covered all the points between you and yes, you covered up everything actually. Aditya and Shivangi, कोई सवाल है? Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. Okay, I have understood the details about the mat reformer. Just wanted to check. It said that the classes started from 27th, but today is
Today.
27th. So the classes start from today?
See, yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. See, there are 4 enrollments this morning, and now is the online session. Only in month of May that we'll have the offline session, right? So today we started with the enrollment process. Number one, the payments have come in. We have what, and then of course the sequence is like this: enroll, submit the form, make the payment, uh, and then I've already started sending the online resources, the books, for example, the YouTube links to the pre-recorded sessions. Also, that process has started. The course has started today officially, but doesn't prevent anybody from joining this week.
So for the physical offline sessions will happen on those days. Only the program course dates have started from today.
Correct.
That's
Online
yeah.
session has started, and there are 10 sessions over a period of next 3 weeks. Or yeah, and then 22 or whatever. But I think I mentioned those dates. Then those 3 days you will have practical training, and that practical training will be 6 hours a day. So it's not just 2 hours. It's going to be quite intensive. Okay.
Yeah. Shivangi is raising her hand. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
Shivangi.
Shivangi.
Yes, sir. So I'm asking you just about the placement and all because I don't need a plan to, as ma'am said, open the studio or anything. So what are the chances of
See,
placement or the things?
placement. Okay, that's a good question. Normally, we do not do any placement. The reason is we encourage
Okay.
our students, 95% of our students to be self-employed. You should be the mistress of your own destiny. You are not, don't do gulami for anybody else. Number one. Number two, you are in Sonepat. Now, I don't know how far Sonepat is from Delhi, right? I really don't know. I mean, I was good at geography, but not so good at Haryana
Okay.
geography.
It's
Here I can
approximately.
say, so Shivangi, so I'll tell you, when you learn math Pilates, in fact, is Sonipat, you have to find out, are there actually any Pilates teacher? In fact, you would do very well there opening your own. Just find any compound where you can pay. A lot of condominiums also,
No, मुझे
they
नहीं
give
करना.
out rooms on rent. Start 1 or 2 hour classes
मुझे
there.
आपके साथ
Pay
बात
them
नहीं
per
करनी.
class. That's how I did. It's like I said, today I do not have a studio, but I used to run my Pilates classes in my condominium in the gym. In the condominium, I used to pay them per class, and actually it worked out well. I used to have 10 to 12 people, and I had to tell people I can't take more.
Shivaki, that's a good point. I'll tell you. Yeah, in fact, what Mitushi ma'am says is right. And there's one more thing which I probably did not mention clearly. When I said that I spend time when Mitushi ma'am and Saima ma'am will teach you Pilates, I will do the mentoring, the guidance. But quite similar to what Mitushi ma'am said, I will tell you whom to contact. For example, if you're a Pilates and a yoga teacher, first thing I'll do will tell you is make a list of all the doctors in your area. Let them know that you are not only a good yoga teacher, you're also an internationally qualified Pilates teacher. Then I will tell you how to make proposals to doctors, to schools, to gyms, and so on. Don't look for a placement because that's a typical. I understand we are all middle class, so I understand what you're saying. But placement is not going to help. I would rather you be the queen of Sonepat in terms of Pilates. And as Mitushi ma'am rightly said, I don't think there's anybody in Sonepat who's done a Pilates class, Pilates teacher certificate, and that too Pilates plus yoga. So if you have the students, you take them to the nearest gym, enter into a contract. What kind of agreement? How to that? I will help you out. Don't worry about that part.
And Shivangi, in fact, you are entering into it at the right time. Exactly what I did 15 years ago in Gurgaon. You are doing it in Sonipat. Why would you want to work in a gym which will pay you probably 500 rupees for a session, whereas you would be earning much more opening your own class. You will be able to pay the rent as well as earn more. That is what I will say with from my experience, and what sir is saying, telling the doctors about. Pilates teacher have more respect, sorry to say, than yoga teachers, because now today everyone is a yoga teacher learning from somewhere, right? So doctors don't trust. Even in physiotherapy, not you will not find a physiotherapist teaching the yoga way of exercise. They will also be teaching the Pilates way. So Pilates that way is more respectful. Let the doctors around know that you are the qualified Pilates teacher. All the pregnant ladies and all these after delivery women will start coming to you, because it is required, much more required after the delivery and postpartum. So don't leave it for a job elsewhere is what I would
No.
say.
Yeah,
In fact,
ma'am.
it is
As
the
sir, sorry to interrupt. Sir, as being a physio, I myself learned my Pilates from GAYO Fitness, and I am using those principles in my rehab, and they help a
Correct.
lot to me.
Yeah.
I introduce those principles in my rehab protocols, and they work fantastically. So yeah, I agree, totally agree with the Mitushi ma'am. Yeah,
and you are in Rohtak.
yeah, sir. I'm in Rohtak.
How far is Sonipat from there?
It's
I don't know.
I think 1 hour.
Okay.
It's
Then
nearby, sir.
you bring Shivangi to your place, no?
Yeah, why would not?
Okay. But that's a good question, Shivangi. Don't worry about it. Once you are a member of my family, as Mitushi and Meenakshi both will tell you.
No, see, no, 14 years, and I am here a faculty. Sir
Yeah,
helped me with
we
even
support
my
you.
marathon training.
I support you. I mean, if you put trust in me, I'll give it back. So don't worry about that part. And I will tell you on your face. I mean, placement. No, don't look for jobs. Whatever ghar wale will say, don't worry. Just focus on self-employment. That's it. Okay. You should become the queen of.
Anyway, पैसे तो नहीं देने.
So don't have to invest money. I would suggest use somebody else's facilities. Your gym, for
Yeah.
example. Now, a gym is normally in the afternoons. The gyms don't work.
Correct.
Especially Mumbai is different. But even in a place like here in Dubai, no gym is working. They don't have many people from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So I tell the Pilates teacher, go use that time. No, doesn't matter if you get more housewives doing that. So what? As long as you get customers and you are happy into this thing. So I will show you how to do that. Go and make presentations to parents, teachers, associations in schools. Go to cricket academies and Haryana is full of, or even Sonipat, I'm sure, has a lot of sporting culture. So there's so many ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. I will guide you on how to do that. I mean, I cannot guarantee success, but I can guarantee you help. That okay, this is what you ought to be doing. These are the draft proposals. उस पे आपका letterhead पे डाल दो and send it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
My pleasure. Adit, any question?
Yeah, so how do I register for this upcoming course for the Mat Pilates?
You are on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Or do one thing, just take down my number, 98200.
So can you please write your number in the chat box?
Chat box. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Here I'm writing it. Yeah. 98200822303. WhatsApp me your name and ID. Shivangi, you also. And I'll send you the details, the links and all that. Okay. And the reason I'm sharing my number is also, of course, tomorrow evening I'm back in Mumbai. Even if you call me this evening from wherever you are in Dubai, it's the same as it's a local call for you anyway. But get your queries satisfied, then enroll. But yes, I have given you to share the number with you. Okay. Shivangi, is there anybody in the family you want them to talk to me? Yeah, no, it's a fact. There are people, youngsters that sometimes I talk to may not be in Shivangi's case, but husbands, fathers, mothers. No, it's a fact. It's a common thing. That's the reason I asked you this thing,
Sorry, sir, to interrupt you. These days, my husband told me ki why you are going to do Pilates and everything because you're done your master's in yoga therapy. So there is no need to do Pilates. You have to grow in your field. Why you're I said
ऐसे नहीं
okay. I
करना.
just wanted to do.
No, that's it. I know because
I can
I've
understand.
50 years of experience in fitness, and that too in the Indian culture. But it's a good question that your husband has asked. So now How do we answer that? Now I've given you the answers, because cross skilling, only yoga is not enough. Today, yoga is available on the tap. Forget the quality of yoga. It's available on the tap free. There's so much of competition. There are so many schools of yoga in India. Shivangi school, Mitushi school, Dilip school, who cares? But Pilates is something which is certified scientific program. ऐसा नहीं है कि yoga scientific नहीं है, but there's so much of competition, right? So I would rather go to a yoga teacher who's also Pilates certified than just a yoga teacher. It adds to, so you can introduce yoga to
I don't
Pilates
want it.
students and Pilates to yoga students. So this is the answer you should give to your husband. I'm glad, see, I understand your difficulties. Now I'm sure you'll get better ideas to, of course, you are the boss. Your husband will agree to it. That's not a problem. But still. So be in touch, okay, guys. Aditya and Shivangi, there are, in fact, I've got 3 more inquiries saying that, I mean, confirmation they're joining us now. That's a good response. And we don't have normally more than 10 students, because otherwise it's difficult for Mitushi ma'am or Sayama ma'am to teach. So we are not here to look for 20 by 30 people in the class. We're happy with 8 to 10. So that's more than enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mitushi. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Shivangi.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye, Aditya.
All
God
right.
bless you.
Bye-bye, Shivangi. Bye,
Thank you
Adit.
for giving me your time.
Bye,
Bye.
Meenakshi.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.